Hello, I'm Dr. Juliana Grimaldi, world-renowned relationship expert. Recently, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Dana McClendon, released what he calls the Hot Crazy Matrix. Mr. McClendon did an excellent job breaking down the dynamics of dateable, marryable, and avoided-all-cost aspects of what men are looking for when they're choosing their mate. But his breakdown of what women look for in men, I think, was inadequate. The flaw in Mr. McClendon's chart begins with his axis lines. While he was correct in noting that the x-axis is a measure of men's wealth, he mistakenly corresponded the y-axis to men's cuteness. But ladies, remember that the male attractiveness factor grows exponentially with the size of his wallet. The bigger the size of his wallet, the more attractive he gets. And that's just science. And who said that size doesn't matter? The size absolutely matters. It just depends what we're talking about. Actually, that size matters too. Alright, so there's another category by which women judge their potential mates. The x-axis is indeed wealth. And the y-axis is what I like to call douchebaggery. Much like the hot axis on Mr. McClendon's chart, the wealth axis actually goes from 1 to 10. Unlike the crazy axis, which starts at level 4 on Mr. McClendon's chart, the douchebaggery goes from 1 to 10. Now, ladies, it is extremely important to note that the male douchebaggery never stops at 10. It actually keeps going, and it is in fact infinite. There is no lid with which you can cap this male quality. Alright, on the douchebag side, anything below 3 and up to 3 on wealth, these are your artists, these are your romantics. In other words, no job. And that's what I'm going to classify it as. No job. These guys are generally, they're not too smart. They don't have much or any money. And they probably never will. But he knows how to pull your strings and make you want to sleep with him. He writes poems for you. He writes songs with your name in them. But this is not the guy you should be with after graduating from high school. At the latest, college. Because you know what? This guy will end up hopping from one entry-level job to another entry-level job because you know what? Quite frankly, his poetry was never good enough, and his garage band he started with his buddies never took off because you know what? It was bad! Now, ladies, let's get to the topic that everyone likes. On the douchebag side, anywhere from 3 to 8 is the bad boy zone. And ladies, I'm sure you're all aware of what I'm talking about, right? Wow. Now, be aware that you are dealing with different degrees of bad boys. Like right here, from 3 to about 4, right here, is the guy who takes you for a ride on the backseat of his Harley, has his way with you. And anywhere from 4 to 8 is the guy who is actually aware he's good looking and he's all into himself and he probably is better looking than you are. Now, this particular male specimen can be found at the gym 4 to 6 hours per day in the free weight section. He usually says words like brah or sup. That's his vocabulary. Alright, ladies, this next part is very, very important. On the douchebaggery level axis, anything above 9 is the danger zone. This is the zone, ladies, that includes physical violence. I can't stress it enough that you should never, ever go there. On the lower end of the wealth scale, there are your George Zimmerman's, or anyone who has ever appeared in any episode of the TV show Cops. On the higher end of the wealth scale, these are your, I don't know, Chris Brown's, Ray Rice's, and of course, O.J. Simpson's. There's also one tiny little douchebaggery zone. It's between 8 and 9. And I call it bizarre but not dangerous. This zone includes your conspiracy theorist, religious nutcases, or anyone who ever wanted to or was on any reality show. Now, let's talk about money. You should really not consider anyone below 5, because between 3 and 5, there is what I call the minimum wage zone. If you're in this relationship, you will have to carry the financial load while he is working a night shift at Walmart and playing Call of Duty during the day with his friends. You know what? If you want to be in this relationship, you have to love your job, because you know what? You may have to get 2 of them. Now, a little higher on the douchebaggery axis, we move to a cheapskate. He always wants to go Dutch, or he will always get you next time, or he forgets his wallet altogether. And really, ladies, this is not even worth it. Don't even go there. Okay? Alrighty, so let's talk about a more recognizable zone. Here, between 5 and 8 on wealth scale, below 5 on douchebaggery scale, there is the, what I call the regular guy zone. Regular guy. Actually, that's what guys call it, but it really is actually the sucker zone. Sucker. This guy, he has a great job. He works from 9 to 5. He always takes you out to nice dinners. He always pays. He goes to church every Sunday, and he has a dog, and he dresses the way you tell him to. He is reliable. He is dependable. He's always there for you. Always. What's wrong with that, you may ask? Well, let me repeat it to you once again. He is always there for you. Always. And if this is the boring, mundane, stale lifestyle you want, with dinners every single night at the same time, sitting on the couch watching Amazing Race or anything else on Netflix together on the couch, you may consider him to be the married type, but you know what? If you're gonna go through all that and accept all that, you may want to consider going up on the wealth scale. Like, even higher than 8. Okay. Alright, ladies, right above the regular guy zone, there is a zone that I really would like you to avoid. This is the Corvette guy zone. This is the guy who wants you to think that he has money, but he really doesn't, because he blows all of it on monthly car payments. And he really is overcompensating for something. Trust me on that, ladies. Alright, a little bit higher on the douchebaggery axis, there's kind of like a poor man's Corvette guy zone, except he has Camaro. But I would stay away from this Camaro guy zone. Alright, well, I am extremely excited to talk about this zone. This is 8 on the wealth scale and below 8 on the douchebaggery scale. And I call this zone the husband zone. Just remember, ladies, you will be dealing with various douchebaggery levels. So, for example, here from 2 to about 4, there's the sports fanatic guy. His perfect idea of a romantic getaway is actually a trip to Wrigley Field to watch the Cubs play. Right here, between 4 and about 6, there's the Peter Pan zone. These are the guys that actually never grow up, and they treat women as collectibles. Names such as Frankie and Guido are the dead giveaway. from 6 to 7. This is our self-lover zone. These men are often referred to as metrosexuals. They're all into themselves, they're, pampering themselves, and they think that God put them on this earth for you to take care of them and serve them. If you're going to be with this guy, if you want to marry this kind of a guy, well, you know what, be prepared to be alone most of the time. All the time, actually. Because he is his own true love. Right here, between 7 and 8, this is what I call celebrity, the celebrity or professional athlete zone. I must admit that the lifestyle is just fabulous here. But you must be prepared to share your man with pretty much any groupie or a whore that he runs into along the way. You know what? I can guarantee you, ladies, I guarantee you he will cheat on you. Even if you are the woman he's cheating with, he will cheat on you. And your medical bill is going to be way too high, because he's going to give you genital herpes. That's what I heard. Now, if you think you've got the perfect guy below the 2 and above the 8, guess again. This kind, sensitive, attentive Prince Charming is actually your gay best friend. Yeah. You should really get one, because you do want to go to brunch together, maybe shoe shopping together. And he's actually the guy who will listen to you, to all of your problems. But he's not the marrying kind. I mean, he wants to get married, he's just not you. Sorry, you're not his type. Well, that's it. Yeah, I think this is it. Thank you for watching, everyone. So, ladies, go and get yourself that rich douchebag.